Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Uncomfortable Growth Podcast. As you already know, I'm going to remind you guys every time you start listening. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification if you don't want to miss an episode. We're getting very, very close to the end of the 4th season, so you don't want to miss it. It's going to be juicy. Yeah, and then for the audio listeners, wherever you're listening, please rate us, leave a comment if possible. We would appreciate it. So, anyways, now let's get started to this next episode. We are here to talk about
friendships while in relationships.
Yes, girls like you.
Because my brain, I had a serious brain fart, and I'm like, I was about to say building
friendships. Yes, maintaining friendships while also maintaining and starting your relationships, your intimate relationships, because friendship is a relationship. But yeah, I've definitely struggled with this in the past. I've kept people around that shouldn't have been around. I've removed people that shouldn't have been removed. I was still trying to figure out and navigate how I want my relationship to look. And trying not to repeat anything I've done in the past. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And we're going to get into it. But I wanted to know, Becky, have you struggled with balancing friendships and relationships?
No.
That's it?
Oh, you want me to elaborate? Okay.
Yes.
No, because...
If we were just here to answer questions, this shit would be 3 minutes long.
No, because I think unless one of my friends can step up to the plate or step up to whatever and tell me that, or let me become aware that, I wasn't attentive friend while in a relationship. I personally feel as though I've done a good job with maintaining friendships.
I am a friend who doesn't believe that.
Anyways. Ignore Jessica. I think I've done my best.
I think she makes more time for her friends than she does her
I think I've done a good job with maintaining it and balancing out because we're in a stage where most of the times me and my friends we plan things out anyways. I don't it's very rare that my friend hit me up. Any of my friends hit me up last minute talk about, oh, you want to do this, whatever. And for the most part, since I am in a serious relationship, my friends will be like, oh, I don't know if you have plans with the boo. That's usually what they start off with. But we wanted to do this if you're available type of thing. And if I am or if I'm not, I let them know type of thing. I don't do a lot of planning per se anymore, but typically for big events, unless it's like a birthday or whatever, but for the most part, if I want to do something one-on-one or just 2 or 3 other friends where we do museum date or dinner date or just catching up type of thing, that's something that's planned in advance. Or whatever, but it was always the same way anyways when I was single, so it's like that never really changed. So I do a good thing where I let my boyfriend know, like, hey, this weekend I'm out for the count.
But that's the reason why you're able to maintain it is because you are on top of your scheduling.
Scheduling helps, but I've always been, I feel as though in my mind, the friend where, me and my friends may not talk all the time, but we find ways to chat. There's times I'll go a week or 2 without talking with one of my friends, but when we do catch up and we start talking, we live in Massachusetts, but we're busy. She has a child, she works full-time, I work full-time, and all these other businesses where we end up being on the phone for 2-3 hours talking about.
I could never be on the phone with you that long. That's crazy.
No, with me and her, it's because we don't.
I'm not a phone person, so
no, we'll text each other for the most part. And now because of the podcast, we see each other all the time, so that's the only difference. But prior to the podcast, me and Jessica will go weeks without talking to each other, and I'll text her like, "Bitch, are you live? Let's go out. Let's do this." Yep. Or are you free this weekend? I can come over. We just do takeout type of thing.
So did y'all hear that? For any of my friends that are listening, I've been a poor communicator for years. Becky's just found a roundabout about to deal with it. She has to literally check to see if I have a pulse.
Yeah. Bitch, you dead? Is you dead?
Is you dead?
I literally found a meme that said, bitch, is you dead? I'll send it to her. And then she'll be like, oh, yeah, I'm good. I've been busy, and then we'll, make time.
Yeah.
But I try to balance it out the best way I can because I know at the end of the day, if, for whatever reason, even if I was to marry this person, if it doesn't work out, or even when we're having our ups and downs, who am I going to 9 times out of 10 run to? My friends. So I'm very adamant with not forgetting about my friends when I get into a relationship. I get it in the beginning phase of the honeymoon phase. You want to spend all your time with this person and get to know them or whatever. But me getting to know my significant other now, we were in the middle of pandemic, so I was barely seeing my friends anyways. But we were checking on each other. And when things started to slowly open up, making some outings or going to their house when they had little outdoor events in the yard or whatever, with social distancing, but I was still making that time and balancing my time with my friends and my significant other that I was starting to get to know at the time. But I've been very good at that. I have yet to hear any of my close friends say, like, yo, I feel like you've been neglecting me as your friend. You spent all this time with so-and-so, or you spent more time with this group of friends as opposed to me. I mean, I haven't been told out loud. I don't know if any of them felt that way and just never said anything, but for the most part, all of my friends were at a stage where I'm like, oh, we'll check in with each other. We know he's busy, type of thing. No one feels the type of way.
Right. I mentioned earlier, Peggy mentioned earlier, like, she has to, like, schedule stuff with me. I think when I'm in a relationship, like, you know, especially in the very beginning stages, you're just, like, so enamored with the person. You want to spend all the time with them. You want to build memories. You want to, like, get to know them more to see where this is going, et cetera, so forth. So it may perceive that I'm spending a lot of time with them, but that's just because it's a new relationship. And then with my friends, I just feel so secure in my friendships with the people that I have friendships with, that I don't feel it's necessary to talk all the time or see each other all the time or whatever. But that's my own fault, because I don't ever sit back and think, like, all right, what does this person need from me as a friend? I feel like I have a good gauge on that, but sometimes, like, when I'm in a relationship, my first real, my second real boyfriend, my best friend hated him. And then she later told me that it was because, like, the time that me and her would spend, he basically got that from me. And so there was one time they got into, like, a really big ass argument, and she almost hit him, like, tried to fight him, like, and this is a big boy. He's not someone you just fight. And then the more recent one where I was living with, not recent and, like, whatever. Anyways, the last one that I lived with, one of my friends would always insinuate that he was being manipulative. And so, okay, I was embarrassed to admit that he was manipulative and that he could tend to be controlling. So instead of saying, like, you know what, girl, you're right, I got defensive. And so that's where our argument started. And it got to the point where when it got so bad, and she was pregnant at the time, and we got into a really heated argument, we stopped talking for a little bit, and that it was so bad to the point where when she was in labor, she's told our mutual friend, because we all met 3 at the same time, not to tell me that she was going to labor and that she's about to have a baby. And it's still kind of like, it's a conversation I bring up as, like, a joke, because we figured it out. But yeah, when that happened, I was like, fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. But it was my own fault for even creating it as, like, creating the problem, because she was only stating her perception of the relationship, which was not far off. The comment she made was off, but, like, her perception of the relationship wasn't far off at all. But I was embarrassed. And when you're in a toxic relationship, there's a period where you don't want people to see what you're accepting, so you're in denial, or you're very protective of somebody who you shouldn't be protecting, because 1, it shows how dumb you look or how dumb the situation is, and then 2, it shows, like, what you're tolerating. It's just, there's so many things that expose you when you're in a relationship like that, because you want it to work, you want to see it, like, play out the way you have it in your head, but unfortunately, you can only fake it till you make it. And then everyone's just like, people that know you, that fuck with you, know the shit's fake. Like, something's not right. So I'm going to call you out on it. And I don't hate her for that ever, because that's what I expect from my friends. Like, girl, what the fuck you doing? This is trash. But yeah. So I know with that relationship too, the 2 of them were never clicking, because she called me one day to, like, go to the club. And I was with him at the time, like in the same room. And I was like, no, I'm spending time with so-and-so. And she was like, oh, okay. And he got so angry at the fact that she wanted me to go to the club with her. And I was like, what's the problem? He's like, oh, you're in a relationship. Like, you shouldn't be going to the club. And he's like, she's very selfish. She's such a bad friend for asking you to go to the club with her.
Nigga, he acts like she said, hey, you want to go suck a couple of dicks after? Yeah, I know you're in a relationship, but you want to go suck some dicks?
Uncircumcised, circumcised, short, long.
Like, sir, it's a fucking club. Grow up.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. It was a big age gap, too. Like, it was almost 12-year age gap.
Okay.
I think I was 27. He was 38, 39.
Okay.
So in his head, that shit's been there, done that.
Yeah, you've been there, done that, but I haven't reached there yet. So
Yeah.
let me get there.
Let me
before I said done
20s,
that.
yeah.
Like, shut up.
And give me enough respect to know that I'm in a relationship. Like, we're official, so I'm not gonna do nothing stupid.
Right.
We're just out to have a good time, and she didn't want to go by herself. She was supporting her friend. And she didn't want to go by herself.
Which is understandable, because me as a female, I would never go to the club by myself. Like, I would need...
Who in the fuck would do that?
Men can go by themselves, because they don't have to wear...
I don't think I've ever seen it. Well, I could be wrong.
I've never seen it, but I feel like a man is more, in a sense... He might have a boy or two go with him, but 9 times out of 10, a man can step into the scene by himself. Unless he's unsure of the area, of the surrounding area, and he's like, nah, I need one of my niggas to go with me. But 9 times out of 10, a man more likely can step into a venue on his own. But a woman, I'm not saying some women haven't, but I feel like with women, we want to make sure we have some form of security blanket with us, so we go with one of our friends. Because we know the world ain't safe for us. So
yeah, it was a hot fucking mess. So instead of listening to her when she expressed her concerns, I deflected, gaslight, all of that, and it dissolved our friendship for a short period. Then I had a best friend who is of the opposite sex. He was not comfortable with that because, again, the age gap, his perception of how friendships should look was not that of me and my best friend. So instead of creating more problems between him and my best friend, I just kind of like pushed my best friend away without really saying like, I'm pushing you away. And he was in the process of getting his PhD, so he was busy anyway. So for him, it wasn't out of the norm, because you know me.
He probably didn't even notice.
He didn't notice. He was so busy, and so me not talking to him for a long period of time wasn't out of the norm, because one, you have to contact me half the time to see what the fuck I'm doing.
To make sure she's not dead.
I'm not dead. And then two, he was so busy, he didn't even think like, oh shit, I haven't talked to Jess in months. And that's where I'm confident on my friendships, because I can go months, weeks, days without talking to my friends, and there's no hard feelings. Like, at least I don't get that perception that there's hard feelings, or like somebody's in their feelings because I'm not talking to them. So I pushed my best friend away without him noticing. Like, you know how you tuck something in the back but you don't tell the person? Like, I'm just gonna tuck you back here. Until after the fact, when he was done with his PhD, he was so excited. Actually, yes, he was done with his PhD right just before I moved out. And I was talking to his wife, it wasn't his wife, but his girlfriend at the time. And she was like, oh, I'm going to get him this. And I was like, oh my God, like, I'm embarrassed. Like, I haven't talked to him in months. I haven't checked to see how he's doing. So, like, how am I just going to show up? And so I ended up just showing up with, like, I got this really, like, dope, you know what a decanter is? I got that with 2 glasses, like, really, really fucking nice glasses with doctor and then his name. And one of the cups had doctor and then his name, and then the other cup was always for whatever guest or anybody he's entertaining. Because now he's a fucking doctor, like.
And a black man at that. You know, we don't have
graduated from Columbia University.
Good for you, because it won't be me. I'm stopping right here in my master's. Leave me alone. But
that's one thing I will say about him. Like, even though how he was, like he can drink anybody on the table. He was always ready for a party. He didn't care if he had to like have class in 2 hours. He's gonna drink. And somehow he managed to get his bachelor's, his master's, and his PhD without having to pay paying $0 at that, because that's how fucking smart he is. But yeah. So I showed up, and then I had the whole conversation of like, I'm so sorry, I'm such a shitty friend. And he was like, I never once questioned your friendship. I was not tripping at all. So I came in humbly. I was like, I'm a shitty friend. I apologize for every fucking thing I did and didn't do. I'm sorry for not defending you. I'm sorry for all these things. And he just looked at me confused, one, because he's like, why are you apologizing? And then I kind of explained to him what I did, and he was like, "Oh, okay, got it."
But did he ever like express his feelings to you in regards to like how your female friend had said how she felt about like your boyfriend at the time?
No, because he never was around to see it, and I never really talked about it to him.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, but it's very tricky for me, anyways, because my first relationship where what the fuck did I do that I was like, what was the first thing? Because the second one was me removing people out of my life because I was in a toxic relationship. But then the time management thing. I told myself, like, I did this wrong in this relationship, and this next relationship, I'm going to do it differently. Because in my head, that was the problem, right? Like, until I realized it was just me. And the fact that person wasn't my person. So whatever I did in the first relationship, I changed in the second relationship, and that caused another problem. So I kept changing every relationship that I would get in, and there's no consistency, because in my head all these things were contributors of the downfall to the relationship, when really it's just we weren't meant to be together. And so that's where. So now that I know who the fuck I am, what the fuck I'm willing to accept, what I'm not willing to accept, I know, like, there's no changing how I manage friendships and relationships. I have a hard time too with people who don't know how to do that. Like, when I see people doing more with their significant others and not with their friends, and I'm just like, but yeah, when you need to talk to somebody, you reach out to your friends. Weirdo vibes. I don't like it. But yeah. Anyways, what about you?
You gonna ask me a question?
Girl, I just said I probably said 20 minutes or something. You don't have nothing to say to that? My God.
I mean, what I will add is during that period of you being with that person that you was living with,
it didn't affect you because I already told you.
It didn't affect me, but I didn't see her as much. There were times when we were making plans. I was never upset though. When I wanted to make plans with you, you couldn't, because it was like you're so far out and there's only so much.
The distance was done on purpose by him.
Because I was living in Hyde Park or whatever. I pretty much lived in Boston.
You lived in South Shore, and I lived deep in the North Shore, like deep in the North Shore. So. And I think that was purposely, meticulously done by him, so that I don't have immediate access to people that know me and know when shit's
But mine still drove up there. I was like, I'm coming.
Yeah, I always felt guilty every time you did. I was like, I don't like that. Don't be coming up here driving that fucking 3-4 hours. Well, it was not that. I'm being dramatic. But it's a long ass drive.
But this is before.
Especially if I want to see you and want to have a drink. Like,
but no, this is before traffic started to get real ghetto.
So it was really like 30 minutes for you max.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. And I would like take back roads to avoid most of the highway and then hop on the highway at a certain point. So it wasn't that. Now, you can never get me. Like, really. It's like
right now, bitch, there's no fucking way.
Ain't no
First off, you gotta pay a toll to go on that side of the fucking...
And mind you, before that, the tolls weren't even the Easy Pass. The tolls were like you had to physically stop and pay. And I'm like, I never have cash on me. What y'all gonna do, arrest me if I say I don't got the cash? So now it's like an Easy Pass. So if I'm trying to get to Revere quicker, I will take the toll, because it's like they're just gonna bill it to me anyway.
Right,
so I was like, whatever. But before I was like, nope, I'm taking it back.
But then you gotta think of the airport traffic and then just traffic in general. It's
that's why I'm like, if I go to Revere, it's usually like, or North Shore in general, it's usually on the weekend or it's like around a holiday. Like right now, you might not catch too much traffic. You might catch traffic now because people are coming back home. But for the most part, on a holiday weekend or whatever, it's smooth sailing, honestly. But I used to just drive over there. But oh well, we can go to like Green Tea, which is closed, or we can go somewhere within the North Shore area.
So random, and I'm gonna ask you this question after I say this because I want to be done. The reason why I don't think he was threatened by you is because you didn't give hoe vibes.
But he don't know me. He didn't know if I was a hood rat or not.
You could be a hood rat all day, but you wasn't giving hoe vibes.
Well, he couldn't sense my radar.
So you was a hoe, is what you was saying.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah, and I think in his head, because my friend loved to party, loved to drink, she's like a life of the party. Like, she's fun. He was like, she's a hoe.
That's crazy. You relate to having fun to being a hoe.
Like, being super social, going out to clubs, going out to bars. That was his way of like, yo, this girl's in a relationship. Like, what the fuck is she doing out in the clubs? Like, he's dumb. It doesn't matter. But I wanted to ask you, what would you do if, like, one of my partners or one of your friends' partners were being disrespectful to you?
Wait, what?
What if, like, my partner or one of your friends' significant other were being disrespectful to you,
Mm-hmm.
what would you do? Would you say something to me? Would you check the person right then and there?
I'm checking them, and then if it's really on hand, I'm probably like,
Get your
nigga. Get your fucking nigga, because he's doing the most right now. And I don't want to say anything that's going to put a wedge between me and you.
Yeah.
Because of him.
Yeah.
So, like, I'll say what I have to say.
But, like, what if your friend's not present in the moment that this disrespect is happening? Like, how can you validate? Because, okay, the friends, I mean, I'm throwing, like, scenarios at you to see which one will be a difficult way to answer. But what if I was not physically there and you tell me, like, your man was trying to push up on me? Actually, no, I wouldn't believe you. I'm going to find something that you would tell me and I wouldn't believe you. Yeah, no, I don't know. So, but one of your friends, like, oh, your man was trying to push up on you. And then you're like, bitch, no, the fuck, I wasn't trying to push up on your nigga.
I don't know, because, I mean, from my perspective, from how I see my friends, I know that I can trust my man around them and they can trust their man around me. So if the man was acting funny or doing weird shit that made me feel uncomfortable, I'll let them know, like...
Yo, if a man was that bold to do some shit to you, to his significant other's best friend, he's doing some other shit.
Oh, of course. And you'll be surprised. There's men that are out there like that. And there's women that are out there that will sleep with their best friend's man.
Yeah.
Or husband. It's weird to me because it's like, yeah, we're human. You can find someone attractive. But at the end of the day, there's a line you do not cross.
I never understood that shit. Even if, like, after they did it and that shit came on your lap, it's to the point where even, like, if an associate that I'm, like, excuse me, guys, I'm cordial with, I have hiccups. I'm trying to suppress the hiccups. If it's somebody I'm cordial with, and if I see them, I have like a quick conversation. I'm not dating your ex. Like,
no,
that's how bad it is.
Like, I would have to literally not know you from
like legitimately,
like not know you, even if I've seen you before, but we don't say anything. Like, even if it's hi and goodbye, but I don't know you on that level. But if we're having like sidebar conversations, you know me on a certain level, surface level to that extent. Like, you know my fucking name, you know where I work at, basic shit. And I come across someone that you used to date, and I'm aware that you used to date.
That's another thing. Awareness of the relationship.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy to me? Like, I wouldn't do it, but if it was an associate of mine or like someone I'm cordial with, started dating an ex of mine, I wouldn't care.
Yeah, associate of mine that I don't really care for, no. But for me,
my
I just wouldn't do it for
level,
them.
I wouldn't do it.
It'd just be weird for me. But if they wanted, that's their business. I'm like, good luck. Have fun with that.
Have fun. I hope he changed for you, girl.
Because he was a headache for me.
Right.
But yeah, I thank God I've never been put in that predicament. But and you know me, I always side-eye dudes anyways. I side-eyed every nigga. Because I feel like the moment you think your nigga would never, here he go, never ring. Okay? Right. The moment you think, oh, it could never be, my man could never, he's doing it right the fuck.
He is never like he never before.
Girl, he's doing it right now, doing shit to embarrass you. It's like,
embarrass.
You know what I mean? But, no, I don't, like, if I ever feel like someone's being disrespectful towards me, like one of my friends' significant others being disrespectful towards me, or saying shit out of character or out of line, like, I'll do my best to, like, that shit right then and there. But if it gets to a point where it's getting out of hand and my friend's not there, I'm gonna let her know, like, come get your fucking
mans.
Come get your mans right the fuck now, because he's being hella disrespectful and stuff. And I never want to feel awkward between my friend and their man.
Right.
It's just weird because at the end of the day, it's like, I'm not fucking my friend. I'm not loving on my friend on that level. Her man does that. And that's his job to do that. Yeah. I love on her and what friends do. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I never want a friendship to end because of a man. But if that's how they want it to end, then that's on them. But I would never end a friendship over a man, especially if, with the exception of, obviously, if they're both being shady and sneaky with each other. And it's like, that's questionable. But
oh my God, now that you said that, did you ever see this video? And if I can find it, I will send it to you. But it was like 3 girls in Miami. And you know those stupid people that be having like their cell phone just asking random questions?
Stupid ass questions.
And there was a question regarding like a significant other. So it was 2 girls on one side and 1 girl on the other side. And they were all friends. They all went to Miami together. And the guy asked the question of like, would you ever fuck her man? And they're like, no, blah, blah, blah. And then the guy he asked another question, and I'm butchering this story, but the end result was one of the girls like, I've been fucking him, like and then she's like, and she told her other friend. So the one that was standing alone was the friend whose mans was fucking the friends, and which it was the setup was just too smooth. When it's a 3-friend group, it gets a little tricky, especially when y'all are young. I feel like the 3-friend groups that I have, we're older and we met at an older age, so it's just like we're not like weird. We don't do weirdo shit like that.
Nope.
Where we're cool with one and talk shit about the other. Like 2 people are cool and talk. Yeah. So the single girl who was sitting by herself, her man, I guess, fucked with one of the girls, and she admitted to it. And the girl was like so embarrassed and caught off guard. And
I remember she was like, "Oh, I have nothing to say." Like,
she's like, "But you knew," and she's like, "Yeah, I knew." And then she was like, "I don't fuck with y'all." And then the girl,
and they flew to Miami together.
And they got so defensive because she was upset. And I was like, "What other reaction did you expect this girl to have? What other reaction did you expect her to have?" I'm surprised she didn't swing on both of y'all. I don't care if I was gonna get my ass beat. I'm swinging.
I'm catching that flight tonight or booking a different hotel stay because we flew in together.
I'm not staying there. I'm going home to whip my niggas ass. Like, we're not doing this. I'm whooping both of y'all asses as much as possible with whatever strength I have. From you sweeping.
Well, there was another crazy one, speaking of that, where the guy was like, "What's the craziest thing you ever done to your friend?" One girl was like, they're 2 friends. She was like, "Oh, I took something from her and I wore it, but I gave it back to her after." And the girl was like, "Oh, I never knew you took it." And then the guy asked her that. She was like, "Yeah." I pretty much told the girl, "Well, I fucked your man because she took something." I'm like, it's a piece of fucking material that she took for you and washed and gave back. You slept with her man. You cannot wash that up and give her that.
You can't even forget.
And the craziest thing is, like, the people who are asking the questions are not expecting these responses. They're just randomly stopping people in the middle of the street with the mic on their phone, like, da, 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 da. And it's like the responses, my jaw is dropping, and a lot of them are willingly admitting to sleeping with somebody else's man in front of them while they're on a trip together at that. It's like,
that shit's wild. Like, that's not a time or place to be fucking disclosing that information. Where do y'all find y'all friends? Like, I don't know.
This generation is different.
I've literally stopped talking to 2 of my friends because of another man, and they've forgiven me. Like, bruh. Like, I don't know where people find their friends, but I don't know if they find it on Wish, the Wish app. I don't know. Like, I'd be so confused.
Probably Shein.
Nah, it has to be Wish. Shein's a step up from Wish. And this shit is ghetto.
Shein.
Wish, you just never know what you're gonna get. You just wish whatever you seen on the damn screen.
Wish upon a star.
is what you get in the door.
That's weird.
Yeah, like, Wish is one of those things where you'll see it and you're like, oh my god, it looks so big, and then you get it and it's like a miniature version of it. Like
I ordered a full-size remote for my TV and this is what I got.
This is a play remote.
What is this?
Not even my child can play with this. This is a choking hazard.
Literally.
But yeah, that's how I perceive their friends. They bought them off Wish because what you thought you was gonna get, you got the complete opposite, and it does not work for you at all. So I lucked out with the friends that I have because ain't no motherfucking way. Thankfully, none of my friends are attracted to the men that I'm attracted to. We don't have those problems. Not that it was ever gonna be a problem, even if we're attracted to the men that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just fucking weird to me.
I mean, at the end of the day, as a friend, you always want to make sure your friend is dating someone that looks good, right? You be like, oh my god, girl.
I mean, I don't give a fuck what you date. I mean, if he's ugly, I'm just gonna say you're ugly. But at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck.
Right. You know, but 9 times out of 10,
I just started talking about your first ex, the one I swear, God forgive me, he's not the most attractive person, and I didn't say anything until she broke up with him. Because what is the point of me telling her he's ugly?
She's still gonna be fucking him anyway.
Right, that's still her man.
Like, what I perceive as attraction, Jessica is not gonna perceive as that, and vice versa. And if we end up seeing the same guy and see that he looks
I was gonna ask you a question, but it's so awkward, so I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
Oh.
I was about to say, if any of my exes you thought was cute, but like,
honestly, I don't remember that. My memory is so fucked now. Like, I'm like, you would have to show me my face because I know faces because I don't remember.
It's irrelevant as fuck.
But no, I mean, my thing is like, none of my friends ever made me feel weird. I mean, I've had friends who literally told me like, I can leave Peggy in my house
Right.
with my man, and I want to have an issue. I can leave money in the room or whatever, and I don't have any issues with it.
You want to know what's even funnier? Are you saying that?
Mm-hmm.
My best friend, the doctor, his wife, I'm obsessed with her. So she and I consider her my best friend. He tells her all the time, like, you stole my best friend from me. The day that I went to that Greek party, he was there. He brought me on purpose. I want y'all to know this. He's very strategic. He wanted to go out and hang out with his boys and hang out with his fraternity. Cool. But the only way he could do that while his wife is at home was to bring me. And I didn't realize why he was so stuck on me going to this goddamn party. And I was like, I don't want to fucking go home. My nieces are there. Have fun. I don't care. And then he's like, I'm outside. I see a light on. Just come outside. And I'm like, fuck. So I go, and it's like now 3 a.m. in the morning, and it's just like, it's starting to die down. My nieces are like, I want to get home. And his wife calls him, and she goes, what are you doing? Where are you at? And he just literally took his phone and turned it. And I was like, hey. And she's like, oh, you were just? She's like, I'll see you when you get home. Like, that's how much trust she has in me. Like, to make sure her man is on P's and Q's. And she met me through him. That's how much, to the point where she's just like, I trust you so much that I don't even trust my husband as much as I trust you. That's how bad it is. And I was like, you fucking brought me here so you could stay out late. He was like, you know it. The fuck? I was like, this is I mean, I had fun. I had a lot of fun. But I realized after he turned the phone and it was me and it was her and she was so calm. And she's like, oh, you, because she was getting ready to cuss him out, like, bring your fucking ass home. And then she see me, she's like, oh, okay, anyways, I'll talk to you later. And then she texts me, she's like, he's so lucky you there. He's so lucky you there. And I was like, damn. Yeah, so he used me, but it's fine. I'll take it. Hold him. Make sure that he's doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah, because, you know, men be menning.
Listen, I don't know. He don't do shit around me, and that's all I give a fuck about. I don't know. He definitely. I pray to baby Jesus. He don't be doing that dumb shit, but for the most part, he ain't doing shit around me because I'll fucking dead that shit. I've told him years ago when I lived in that raggedy ass apartment, my first apartment. And he was like, yo, if homegirl, and this was a girlfriend from years ago, if homegirl called, like, ask you, like, what we did yesterday, just tell them we went to a bar. And I was like, but I didn't even see you yesterday. I haven't seen you in a week. And he was like, but I told her I was with you. And I was like, absolutely the fuck not. I was like, I'm a woman before I'm your friend, before I'm a sister, before I'm an aunt, before I'm anything else. And I'm not about to fucking support you in your fucking deceit to this girl. This poor girl who just wants to love on you and wants to be with you. I'm about to go lie to her? Like, I'm not doing that. I'll figure somebody else out and don't bring her around me.
Get somebody else to do it.
That's that shit. You know, I probably did say that. Not me. I'm not. Because I told that to my brothers. I've snitched on my brother, my older brother, when he cheated. I told his wife, I was like, oh, there was this girl, such and such. And she's like, oh, really? What does she look like? She's like, yeah, she had curly hair. Telling her, I'm spilling all the beans to her. Because at the end of the day, that's my niece's mother, and that's a woman. And ain't nobody about to fucking no. I'm not lying for nobody. So yeah. So if this one was to cheat and her man asked me, I'm like, no sir.
Listen, watching just like, oh, okay. All right.
No, I wouldn't lie for her. There ain't no fucking way. I would try to convince you to stay with her. But I wouldn't lie for her. My God. What would you do? If you cheated, this is so hypothetical because this is not the kind of girl that she is at all. But if you cheated and he called me, what do you want me to do? Like if you called me and said, Jessica, I need you to tell me the truth. Did Peggy cheat on me? What would you want me to do?
I don't know. Because I know in my heart you wouldn't call. Because what's always say, like, I know you're not that stupid to cheat on me, but if you were to cheat, that's just your loss. He's like, I'm not even going to argue with you. He's like, I'm just gonna look at you. Like, what is up with niggas thinking like them staring at the woman after she done wrong is gonna
make her admit to her wrongs
or feel bad, like staring at me? Cause I mean I know for a fact as women we ain't staring at no nigga. We yelling, we're screaming with shit. Yeah. Maybe that's their way. I don't know.
No, I've seen men like lose their shit, crying.
Yeah, that's true.
Doing some dumb shit. A man who's calm and accepts what it is and carries on and leaves is a mature man who knows the value of himself and knows there's no point in me expressing my distaste or my frustrations because I'm not staying. So what is the fucking point?
True.
So what do you want me to do? If
I don't fucking know.
I'm joking because that's.
She's like, at the end of the day, but what do you want me to do?
Like legit, like if you told me you cheated, I'd be like, no, you didn't.
I know. Just like, no, you ain't that fucking dumb bitch.
For me, it's just like it doesn't even make sense. Like, what are we talking about right now?
She's like, is it April? Is it April 1st? Oh, it's May 1st.
I'm looking at the calendar. I'm looking for cameras to see if I'm being pranked.
Like, bitch, am I punked? What the fuck you doing?
But yeah, I don't know. I guess that's it for us. This one is kind of checked out. I don't even know how long we've been recording.
35 minutes.
Are you fucking serious?
Sound like that. Wait, let me see. You have no other questions?
Peggy's out of it today. It's okay, guys. We don't need to make it a long one. We can make it a short one.
No, but I just know that I mean, I don't know if I've ever heard, I don't hang around a bunch of men to see or ask them that question, but for the men out there, like, do they deal with, like, balancing friendships and being in a relationship?
I don't think men care that much.
When
I say that, I mean, like, their friends are not like, why haven't I talked to you or I haven't seen you? Like,
they'll probably talk shit like, bro.
He's like, oh, you hitting that? I bet.
Or they'll probably do some shit like, yo, bro got some pussy and we ain't never heard from him ever again. Like, they'll probably say shit like that.
Yeah, like, they'll tease him, but they're not gonna be like, I'm upset with you.
Like, nigga, you started getting pussy and I ain't heard from you in 3 months. Like,
that's a man who says that is a man who's not getting pussy.
Yeah. He turn around and be like, maybe you should get some pussy.
Do you need me to hook you up with somebody?
Maybe that's what you should have in the last 3 months, and then you would have noticed I haven't. 2 or 3 months. But no, I think, like, for women, I think I get it, the whole concept of us being more emotional, so we like to feel connected to our friends, whether male or female. Mm-hmm. So it's, like, more precious to us. Like, we hold friendship sacred. Yeah. In a sense, I think that's why, like, people always question it, like, damn, y'all be quick to, like, cut your friends off, but then you're like, you'll forgive a man 1,000 times with that one fuck up your friend did. Like, you're ready to, like, let them go, like, or cut them off. And I don't know, because friendships, I feel like maybe the reason why is sometimes friendships hold more weight. I'm not saying the relationship isn't important, but I don't know. It's just like your friendship is like an extended family member, like a sister or a brother. So you hold them at a higher tier than your significant other because there's that ultimate chance.
I think because I always say this: your family was given to you, your friends were chosen.
Yeah, that's true.
You inherited your family. You just deal with it with however you want to see fit. But your friends, you literally vetted them to the point where, like, I can trust you.
You probably seen me naked 9 times out of 10.
I don't think I've ever seen you naked, but I'm
talking about my other friends.
Oh, okay. Don't do that shit around me. But yeah, for your friends, it's just like I've literally vetted you, like, so I trust you at a higher capacity than my family
especially if we've been friends since we were kids.
Yeah.
Like, someone might turn around and say under the comments, well, technically you vetted the person you were dating. Yes and no, because at the same time,
people present their best selves in the beginning, especially when you're in a relationship.
Friendship is just genuine. You naturally are yourself around that person, and in most friendships, you've been friends with them since you were kids. Like, it's different when you're dating someone to eventually become their boyfriend or girlfriend, and eventually, if you're into marriage, marry them, as opposed to your friend. So, like, 9 times out of 10, most of us have 20-year friendships. Some of us have longer friendships than relationships. Yeah. So it's like you hold them to a higher regard. Like you said, I choose my friends. Like, we meet along the way, and some we let go along the way due to whatever circumstances.
Outgrowing.
You know, you outgrow that person, but it's like the boyfriend or the girlfriend, whoever you start dating, it's a different level as opposed to my friend. Like, this person I'm dating, I met them at 25. As opposed to you, we knew each other since kindergarten. There's a difference. Like,
I mean, even when your friends change, if they're still around during that change, that just means it's a testament of your relationship, of your friendship. But if it happens where you guys, because I had a friend who I was like best friends with in high school, and then college came around and we went to the same school, and she started continuing to do the things that we were doing in high school, but I was just no longer interested. And I realized those extracurricular activities of smoking and doing all that stuff was just not helping me be successful in school, I stopped. But then she had a problem with that because then she perceived it as me thinking I'm better than or whatever. Like, genuinely, she's a great friend. Like, she's an awesome friend. But we outgrew each other because the things that she was interested in now, I'm not interested in. And there was just no commonality. And that was just an organic split. Like, it was hard for the both of us because we just assumed that we were always going to be friends.
Yep.
But it was something where there was no resentment, at least on my end. I don't know how she feels. And like, we still communicate through social. We'll comment on each other's stuff or whatever. Like, it's still very cordial. But it's nothing where like we were in high school. But then I have middle school friends that's transitioned through high school, transitioned through, you know, adult life. I've had friends that are from high school that's transitioned through adult life and all of that, even down to like having children and building family and getting married. Like, we went through all the testament of time, and we've been able to maintain and manage our friendships. So I just think it's like, and I don't think anyone should feel bad when their relationship starts to dissolve. I feel like it's just showing you that you're growing and that person is growing, and it's just not going in the same direction. So take it as like, oh, this is a good thing. Like, I was able to enjoy this person. They taught me a lot, and now I'm going in this direction. I'm going to the right, you're going to the left, and good luck on your next journey. I don't know. I never get really resentful when I lose a friend. There are friends now that I'm like, bitch, there's no like, just up and leave and don't tell me why you're fucking leaving. Like, you better explain yourself.
Yeah, I think most of the friends that got dissolved, friendship that dissolved over time, or it just dissolved over time.
Yeah, like there was no like conversation.
And if we see each other, it's like, oh my god, how you been? Like, cordial. We follow each other on social media. We might wish each other a certain holiday or whatever. That's it. But nothing crazy where it's like, oh, I don't like that bitch. Like, I can't fucking stand her. She just stopped me and my friend and type of thing.
Yeah.
No, never that. It's just organically dissolved itself. Like, we don't hit each other up in a sense over the phone. And it's just like, due to social media, we have some type of connection on that realm. But nothing where it's like, I don't like her, so obviously I wouldn't have their social media type of thing. But yeah, friendships, just like relationships, as humans, we're supposed to evolve. But I don't recall having a friendship ending because of like me being in a relationship with somebody else, or my friend feeling like I left them out. Like, I only had one situation where a friend felt like I was spending more time with their cousin, that we became close, and now we're close friends. And
like the mutual person.
Yeah, and my thing is, it's like, I personally do not care if I introduce one of my close friends to another friend and they become tight. I'll never feel a type of way because I don't expect my friends to only be my friend, because I know they have their other circle of friends, and who knows, my friendship that I introduced them to, they might become cool with somebody else. People talk. I'm not expecting my friends to be like, oh no, you only talk to me type of thing. That's weird.
You don't have ownership of me. That's weird.
No, it's very weird. But like, you know, over time, me and my friends will talk shit to each other like, oh, like, who was that person you was out with the other day? Like, I didn't prove, I didn't vet this person out yet type of thing. But never where it's like, oh, you talking to other girls. In all
seriousness, yeah.
Like, nothing, never that way, because it's like weird, because it's like we have our own lives. We don't live with each other. I'm gonna make friends. I'm gonna open a new circle of friends or whatever, for whatever reason. So I think that was the only time that has ever happened. But other than that, I've had friendships since the 90s. We met in 99, middle school. My best friend, who I am the goddaughter of her firstborn, we met in 98. We're still friends. So
yeah, that just says a lot about us. Like, get you a Virgo friend.
Y'all may be sick of us, but trust us, your life will be organized. It'll be perfect.
It'll be peaceful. They'll bring some clarity. We'll bring clarity to your life, structure, genuine friendship. What
10
else?
toes down.
What else, Peggy?
Perfection. There's nothing else I can. We're perfection.
35 is beating my ass, okay? Because the perfectionist in me is just out the door at this point. She's like, I'm fucking leaving. Get your shit together, and I'll call me back. Like, that's how it is right now. Like, I feel like I'm in, like, just shambles. Like, I feel like I need structure. I told my cousin this morning. I was like, I just need more structure. I need a planned out day. I can't just, like, wail my hands in the fucking air and just expect things to fall and where it needs to fall. I need more structure. So that's my goal for this year. But yeah, guys.
We say this to say, cherish your friendships. those that
have
need
those
to be turned.
difficult conversations.
Yes, and if you do feel the type of way about your friend, I think it's best to have that conversation. Don't do that weird shit where y'all go on social media throwing subliminals. Like, don't do that. I don't like that shit. I think it's weird when people do that.
I don't like it.
Don't do that. But yeah, have those. If you're really real friends as much as you guys say you are, you would have that conversation.
I think for everybody, I'm not gonna sit here like and dictate like you talking to me about something that's very difficult is going to determine what kind of friend you are to me. It's difficult to have those conversations. Sometimes you have to sit with it for a little bit, sit with your emotions, or evaluate your emotions a little more to see if it's your friend or if it's you. Because sometimes when you express emotions that are really just you and your feelings, like that has shit to do with me. Like, I haven't been inconsistent. I haven't done anything wrong. I haven't done anything off the grid or off the walls. You probably just need to sit with those feelings and come to me when you fucking realize that it's you, not me. So, but yeah. But anyways, with that being said, guys, it was great. It was lovely. Morale is down this episode, but it's okay. But yeah, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification on YouTube. We need y'all to get the subscription numbers up. And then if you're listening to us, you know what the fuck to do. Leave us a comment. And with that being said,
peace.
Bye.